In a time where all podcasts are the same, two guys have decided that enough is enough. This is the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the newest episode of the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen. I am Stefan. He is Eric, fresh off his excursion to the wild, wild world that is Rehoboth Beach.
No, Bethany.
You were in Rehoboth. You were in the gay capital of the East Coast. Bethany is an offshoot of Rehoboth.
Just south of it.
Well, people know Rehoboth
right
better.
through your friend town of Dewey Beach.
Eric, that's like going, I'm in Parkville. Are you in Parkville or are you in Baltimore? People just kind of say you're in Baltimore. You were in Rehoboth. It's a lovely town, lovely people.
It is, but I was in Bethany.
All right, sure. How was your week at the beach?
It was very relaxing, although I was intoxicated most of the time.
And how old are your children?
They're old enough to make breakfast for themselves.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with 6 and 4, maybe?
No, 5 and 7.
5 and 7. Oh,
yes.
come on. Jesus Christ. Like, oh, no. Like, I was just off. Like, they had birthdays recently.
Yeah.
I wasn't very far off. You looked at me and said it in a way that made it be like, you're an idiot. I
mean, there's a big
close.
difference between 4 and 6, 4 and 5, 4 and 7.
Yeah, I was one off for both ages.
Right.
I said 4 and 6. You're like, no, 7 and 5.
Well, you know what? Get better.
You're hammered the whole time while they're making
No,
their own
I wasn't
food.
hammered. I was just,
I'm bringing you back to earth. You want to come back
Rather
gloating about what a big
lubricated.
drinker you are? You were on
Rather
vacation with your
lubricated.
kids.
rather lubricated. But
That's
it
good.
was you're on the beach.
Did you just hang out on the beach all day? What did you guys do?
Yeah, I hung out at the beach. I did play some golf on Wednesday at Bear Trap.
Bear Trap? I've never played Bear Trap.
That is an interesting course.
Were there bears?
There were no bears.
Why did they call it Bear Trap? Did you ask?
I did not.
Who doesn't ask a question like that?
I don't know.
That's a weird thing.
The one guy was like, he saw a tag on my friends. No, it's in Bethany.
Oh, okay. So
exactly where I said I was at.
South Rehoboth. Got it.
But no, there was a guy, he saw the tag on my friend's bag, and he's like, I don't remember what it was, but it was a tie to the Baltimore private school scene. He's like, oh, are you from where in Baltimore are you from?
Yeah,
and I was
the
like,
MIAA.
I was like, he was like, oh, you got that oak, whatever it was. I was like, I don't know what that is. That's not my bag.
Oh.
He's like, well, where'd you go to school? And I'm like,
it's a big thing in Baltimore.
I know. And
you guys are from Iowa.
I was totally
you don't
fucking
know.
with this guy. He was like, what school did you go to?
Yeah, when people ask you what school you went to, especially in Baltimore County,
it's what high school.
It is.
And
Loyola,
I was like,
Calvert
what
Hall,
school?
Gilman.
And he was like, come on, man. And I'm like, yes, I know what you're getting at. I was like, I did not go to a private school in Baltimore. I went to a high school in the middle of a cornfield.
Was it private?
No.
Oh, look at this peon here. You bring your father in here to gloat your public school education.
Upon you little people.
You right-wing Republicans.
But no, played golf. It was a good day. And then we didn't have any kids that night. They did like a kids night out thing at the Sea Colony where we stayed.
Where do they take the kids?
They
Where
just
do you go?
It's like a movie night and stuff in the athletic.
At the Rehoboth Theater.
Jesus.
What did the kids say? Minions?
I don't know.
You don't know what your kid. You're drunk. For all you know, they're going to see Deadpool. You know, fuck it, whatever. They'll be good. Here's $20.
It's their responsibility. We paid for them to watch my children.
I don't know what they ate. I don't know what they watched, but we had a good time.
Hey, look, we went to this place. It's all I call it Zico's Mexican cuisine.
Okay. What'd you get? Tacos, burritos.
A lot of margaritas.
Oh,
they had margaritas with Grand Marnier in them.
Yeah. So you say you weren't drinking that much, but
like,
everything I've asked you about is like, hey, what'd you get to eat? You were like, margaritas. Literally.
Wednesday was the peak. Thursday, I dried out. I took a day off. I needed it. Watched some movies. It was kind of shitty weather.
What did you watch?
Got a horrible...
You know I'm going to ask you what you watched.
I watched... I finished watching Rogue One.
Oh, okay. We'll save that for later when we talk movies.
And then after that finished, because I had like a half hour, 45 minutes left on that one, and then I dove right into episode 4, A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Yes.
With Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I like what you're doing with the Star Wars side.
Yeah, because I watched and finished ObiWan.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment, too. I'm glad you're done, because we're going to, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the finale of ObiWan in our movie section.
Okay, all right. But yeah, that got me going on all of that.
Good.
So I was like, Emily's like, I was thinking we go to town and, do some shopping around. I was like, I wanted to die. I was
At
like,
the
like,
outlets?
I was like, okay.
Did she
No,
wanna
in
go
downtown Bethany.
Yeah, I thought maybe she wanted to go to the Rehoboth outlets
No,
since they were
down in
very
Bethany.
close to where you were.
Yeah, no, that was like 45 minutes away.
Good savings right there.
Right. Yeah,
you
no,
know?
this place, she was like,
20 minutes.
She was like,
Let's
why
not
don't, she goes,
exaggerate.
why don't you just, you know what? Why don't you just chill out? I'll take the girls into town, take a nap, and then ride the bike in. And I was like, okay. So I
Is
finished
the bike
watching.
a motorcycle?
No, it's an actual bicycle.
All right, that's cool. All right.
It's about a mile and a half
No
ride.
worries. You know, the way you said it made me think motorcycle.
Yeah, no.
Then we're
bring
gonna
the
ride the
bike in.
We're gonna ride the bike in. All right, keep going.
So I got in there and I'm going to segue into my what's wrong now.
Were you riding a Segway?
No.
Just a bike.
Just a bike.
Okay, sorry. Keep going. I could see you on a Segway fucking riding down Coastal Highway.
I mean, if I had the choice between the two,
With
I
your-
definitely would have picked a Segway.
You'd have like your triathlete outfit on. You know,
My onesie.
and you're like your helmet and your glasses. Like a Paul
my
Blart.
race number.
Yeah. Yet you're not doing any physical activity whatsoever.
Segway. Oh man. So I get there and I'm like, yeah, I just load the bike into the back of my truck and then we can whatever. So she decides to park right in front of the police station.
Okay.
Great idea.
Was she not supposed to park there?
Well, I mean, they had the parking meter people were out in force.
With the bike or the car?
Huh?
Did you park the car or the truck in front of
the truck,
Okay.
yeah, for parking meters.
Got it. So she
And
pulls into
so-
a metered spot in
right.
front of the police station.
Yeah, and then
Got it.
so I went to go put the bike. She was like, "Oh, we may need to refill the meter." I'm like, "All right, cool." I get there, it was like a half hour left, but they're the digital ones. It's not like you can add to it. Like you have to buy a whole new ticket,
Mhm.
right? So I had like a good half hour extra overlap.
Okay.
Well, it expired at 1:31. I go back. She still wants to shop. I thought we were going right to lunch.
You got to take it. Please tell me you got to take
So
it.
we're at lunch and it's at 1:31. I'm like, all right, I'll run down there. Stop at the bathroom. I'm walking down and I can see him. I can see the orange vest.
Mhm.
And I'm like, it's 5 minutes after the expiration.
Well, guess what? That's the building he works in and
I know
walks
that.
out of.
I know. Right? So
You're the first car he sees, like, well, gotta take it.
So I get up to him and I'm like, you boys don't give any leeway, do you? And he's like, huh? And I'm like, 9 minutes. And I pointed at my truck. He's like, huh?
Well, 9 minutes is not 5. 9's a lot. I would have to give you a ticket too, I think. 9's a lot.
Guess-
You're officially late.
Guess how much the parking ticket was?
$30.
No.
Is it exorbitant?
Well, it's more than $30. Do you think
60?
not that much?
$45.
40.
$40 is a lot.
That's a lot.
But
And it's-
that's a beach town where they don't fuck around with that. That's how they make
for
money.
9 minutes. Yeah, I clearly.
You're in a beach town. The parking is a racket there, man.
Clearly.
Racket.
Yeah, because it's already $2.50 an hour.
That's how they make their money over the
it's
summer, boy.
ridiculous. It's
So,
bullshit.
yeah, you got to pay the city. You got to pay the piper.
So I'm
man
fighting it.
Rehoboth.
I'm fighting it on a technicality. And the technicality is the meter didn't have a zone sticker on it to use. I wanted to use the app so that I could just reload it from wherever I was in town. But the meter didn't have it. It didn't have, every other meter had that sticker on it,
Mm-hmm.
except this one.
I bet you're going to win.
I don't think I am, but I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a valiant effort.
The gas you will spend to get to the courthouse.
Oh no, you can do. I'll just do it online.
you can do it online?
Yeah, I already submitted it.
They don't make you go
I'll
in?
get an email saying whether I.
To refute it, you can do it online?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I guess you can mail in ballots right out. You can do
Right,
anything online at
exactly.
this point. Speaking of which, did you see the story about Trump? Do you guys think this is real? This
What's
woman
the story?
This woman came forth. Basically, she was like involved with him. She says she was in the car the day that the Capitol riots were happening, or we'll call it the riots. The Capitol insurrection occurred, and said that Trump demanded that the driver take him to the location to lead the riot, to lead the insurrection, and that the drivers like jerked the wheel. He tried to like lean up and jerk the wheel and shit. You didn't see this story today?
No.
He's refuting, and he's saying he's met this woman like once or some shit. We'll look the actual
Another
story up.
Stormy Daniels.
No, she's
Sounds
been
like Stormy
identified.
Daniels to me.
Apparently, she tried to get
He
a
also
visit.
tried to touch her too, didn't he?
No, but look the story up. Do you think there's any credence to it? He's
No.
refuting it a bit. Al's shaking his head no. He
No.
says no. I could see him doing it.
He's going to go all the way to the front of an armored car and try to jerk the wheel out of the driver's hands. I think
it was
not.
the big old armored limo.
Yeah, no fucking way.
Well, wait, and then they go, sir, there's weapons. He goes, they ain't trying to hurt me. That's what they said the quote was.
Oh my God. That I could see him
Yeah.
saying, well, they're not trying to hurt
So
me.
you don't believe that
No.
this is a real story?
No,
Al,
this
do you
is-
believe he tried to lead
This is
the
bullshit.
insurrection?
This just came out.
Yeah, it came out today.
No. Mm-mm.
All right, I'll look up who to check as. I didn't know if you heard the story.
Yeah, I haven't. And
I find it hard to believe as well, but man, do they keep raking this guy over the coals.
Just
He hasn't been president in what, 2 years
Yeah.
or some shit?
Yeah.
Biden's doing a good job. All right, so
Tipping over on his bicycle.
Yeah, you know,
on his bike. He rode his bike and
I don't know who's running for president at the Republican Party in the next election, but I think they're probably going to
a good chance.
It's like Biden, the bar was so low. Like, I'm not even going to get into like, was Trump a good president or not, but he was very divisive. So it was like, all you had to do was come in and just do like a fucking decent job. And Joe has found a way to not even do that.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't found a Democrat, Republican, anybody that is like, yeah, Joe Biden's fucking crushing it. You know what I mean? And are the gas prices his fault? Probably not. It's probably the oil companies, but like the economy's in the shitter.
Yeah.
Like everything's bad. Oh God, these shootings just keep happening. It doesn't matter who's go figure. There's a Democratic president, and there's just still tons of mass shootings.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, we had a comedy show over the weekend.
We did.
We were at the Kent Islands,
Pumping
Elks.
air back into it.
Yeah, we were at the Kent Island. We thought we were in Stevensville.
Yes,
we were
we got
made very clear to
very
us it was
corrected.
Kent Island.
What's going on, Stevensville/Kent Island?
The charter for the place said Kent Island that
Yes.
your buddy who did the 5-minute opener pointed out to me.
I don't know where Stevensville came from, but it came from somewhere.
Yeah, well, we were at the Kent Island. Elks.
We were. It's corrected. I've changed it on all. We're back there in October on the 22nd.
Oh, they're bringing us back.
Yeah, I changed all the ticketing and stuff is up, and it's all now Kent Island Elks
Is it
Club.
me again, or are we doing a different
No,
headliner?
doing a different headliner. I got Jim Bryan on board.
Oh, okay,
already.
that's good.
Well,
That's
I
good.
told them, I was like, we'll bring you back around. But people were like, they wanted this whole lineup back again. They
How did
wanted
it go?
us to
Yeah,
come back.
did you get feedback? I wasn't able to talk
We
to
got
folks. You mentioned
0 negative feedback. I talked to
good.
him this morning, Mr. Ray,
Okay.
and he said,
Ownership says we slayed.
have not the exalted ruler said that we got
Exalted, the
0
grand poobah.
zero negative feedback.
Well, that's good. Sean, did we do good? You were there. Sean recorded the show.
Yeah.
Where maybe we'll have highlights of it at some point. I don't know what we're going to do with that
we're
footage.
Not, there's no maybe. We're getting highlights.
We're doing
right.
doing some sort of sizzle reel.
Yes.
We did the music piece at the end. I feel like that was well received.
Yes. Very.
Now, you
well.
had mentioned in a text to me, I thought we could just talk about it
Yeah,
on
that's
the
fine.
podcast. Did we have some sort of someone intrigued by the music aspect? What is the musical thing that you said someone might want to further the conversation on? You sent me a text on Sunday.
I don't remember.
Oh, Jesus. It was real topical then.
It was well. That's why I was like, we should talk about it, and then you never called me back. So then
I'm
it
very
was-
busy. I'm
It
very
was
busy.
out of my mind.
Also, I
So,
knew I would see you in 48
do
hours
you
right now.
remember?
It was one of the agenda items, Eric. You said you wanted to recap the show, and then you wanted to talk about some sort of great musical offer that we've got. I hope it's from Berry Gordy. I watched The Wiz last week.
Yeah, I have no idea what that.
All right.
was
Have you
about.
ever seen The Wiz?
Yes, kind of. Yeah,
It's,
a long
it's
time
like
ago.
the
Bits
Black
and
Wizard of
pieces.
Oz. Diana Ross, Michael Jackson before he's a star. I revisited it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How was it? How
It
did
was
it
great.
How did it float? How does it scale?
I'd never seen it actually top to bottom. I'd never seen the beginning and like how she got to Oz. It's all just like a very urban Oz. It's great. Michael Jackson plays the Scarecrow. I've lost you.
No, I'm listening to you.
All right.
So Michael Jackson was a scarecrow.
Mhm.
Who played the other?
Let's not worry about it. Let's keep moving on the
all right.
conversation. We got another show in Stevensville coming up this weekend at Cult Classic Brewing Company.
Yeah,
Are you going to be there for that one?
yeah, I'm in the lineup.
Oh, I don't know. I never look at these flyers anymore. We do so many goddamn shows, you know? You're in some of them. You're not in some of them.
Yeah.
One day you're here, the next you're not. John Dayton said, hey, do you want me to come to the show? I said, are you in the lineup? He goes, no, but I live pretty close. And I said, yes.
He doesn't, but I mean, if he wants to come up,
He said he's coming.
he can be part of the Walmart song. So,
To dance like a fucking monkey.
which we need to rehearse this week because we have this coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able. I'll see what I can do. I got my daughter Friday, and I have a meeting with my boss at 10 o'clock to go over my territories.
Mini meeting here. Send me some music so I can play.
Did you see that John Hinckley, the guy that shot Ronald Reagan, is he's now saying he's very remorseful over his attempted assassination of Reagan, and he's kind of begging. He's begging everybody for forgiveness.
Isn't he getting out of jail?
Yeah, well, he's begging for forgiveness. Let's stay on that.
Okay, he's begging.
Do you forgive John Hinckley for shooting the
The
president.
best president in history? No.
So you say no, I will not forgive you, John Hinckley,
No.
for shooting my president, Ronald Reagan.
No.
Al, do you forgive John Hinckley? Sean, do you forgive John Hinckley?
He was not born at that time.
You don't want it. You say no. You weren't even alive. You don't remember this guy getting shot. You won't just benevolently offer your forgiveness to a guy that. Did you know Ronald Reagan got shot? It's an honest question.
Wait,
answer the question, Mr. Depp. It's an honest question. Oh yeah.
So wait, what year did that happen?
81.
All right.
Were you alive?
I was.
How old were you in 81?
I was 1.
You were 1 years old, and you vividly remember crying.
Vividly remember
Al, do
it.
you remember him getting shot? Was it like on TV, like Kennedy's thing? How was it?
That was on TV.
Yeah. Like as it happened? Or they just started talking about it afterwards?
I saw video of it.
It was very public?
Yeah, he was getting in his car, I think.
Well, there you have it, folks.
For some rally, and he was for a speech.
A real life recollection of it.
There it is. You were alive. We have a guy who was alive.
I was taking care of him.
You don't forgive him, though.
He was washing my diapers.
You don't forgive him.
Because the old school dip ones in the
Well,
toilet.
that's big news when a would-be assassin of the president is maybe getting out of jail and begging for your forgiveness. Yeah,
I can't believe he's getting out.
it's pretty wild. Hey,
Who would have thought?
hey, I have another question for you, Eric.
All right, ask away.
Do you eat a lot of healthy things? Do you ever eat food from a company called Daily Harvest?
I believe so. Yeah. Yes, I do. I think.
Okay,
Yeah, I
they
believe
make
so.
they make a lot of products. One of them's called Crumbles.
Where do they sell this? Where do they sell this?
Daily Harvest? I think it's like a thing from maybe a Trader Joe's. Well, there's a woman who's, I wanted to let you know this in case this is something you do eat. There's a woman who's suing Daily Harvest. They're an organic food company, claiming that it's French lentil and leek crumbles have upended her life, causing her gallbladder to be removed, liver damage, and all sorts of other problems, all from eating the crumbles
How
from
is
Daily
she
Harvest.
proving this?
I'm not sure. There's science involved. The company's commenting on it. They're saying we receive reports suggesting a link between the French lentil crumbles and adverse reactions. We have launched into an investigation into this.
I mean, first of all, you're eating French lentil crumbles. What
Yeah.
do you expect to happen?
I don't know.
It can't be good.
What's the sickest you've ever got from eating something?
Oh, food poisoning from
Yeah.
eating a bad oyster.
An oyster?
Yeah.
I
I can't
got,
do it anymore. I can't do raw oysters.
I got food poisoning from eating a bad seaweed salad.
Yeah.
It was actually at San Sushi 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I ate it at work when I was working at Sources.
Did it
and-
ruin you for?
Well, Lee and I both got sick immediately. Oh, we were just shitting our brains. That was
Oh.
coming both ways. Yeah, food poisoning is no joke.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I haven't had it in a long time.
It's the worst.
And I'm glad
the
for
wife
that.
got it the first day of vacation, and I felt real bad. She got it from not the rehobeth.
from the pill that you slipped into. It's like, all right, babe. Well, I guess you're just gonna have to stay in here while I sit on the beach by myself, getting hammered quietly. We love women. We love women. Roe versus Wade, terrible decision. All right. So next we're going to talk about the movies and the shows that we've been watching. The movies and the shows. So now we can talk about ObiWan Kenobi.
All right.
Through about 5 episodes, I was like, this is okay. Well, let me rephrase that. In the 3rd episode, when Vader was dragging people through the streets, force choking people.
Amazing.
That was awesome because it's supposedly him at his baddest and his height.
I like also, can I just say that they made him much bigger physically
Yeah, he's a robot, man.
versus
He's like Frankenstein.
I know, but I was in A New Hope, so it was episode 4, the
Yeah.
first Star Wars to ever come out.
Yeah.
He was big, but tiny in
Well,
comparison to the new version.
You also you got to remember, robots weren't as big as they are now back in the 70s.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like offensive linemen in the NFL. A left tackle was like 260 pounds in the 70s. Now this guy we drafted, Filele, 6'9", 400 pounds. So it makes sense to me that 2022 robot giant man
much bigger.
is much bigger. Well, I was also so intrigued because it's like they brought back that actor that played Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen. And for the first 2 episodes, I was like, They could have literally had fucking,
Anybody.
yeah, like Carrot Top play fucking Darth Vader. We wouldn't have known. Like, great, I'm glad you brought this guy back, but he's under his whole body and face are covered. And then,
wait, he was actually in the Darth Vader costume?
Well, yeah. So, yeah. Well, that I didn't know they were gonna like reveal his face at some point, and especially at the very last episode.
Well, they had the scene where him and Obi were like they
Yeah,
were like
but
fighting,
again,
but it was they completely.
I'm talking about 2 episodes in where they just basically had like him and Vader like in separate locations, and they just were showing him every once in a while. I mean, as a Star Wars fan, you don't think, oh, they're gonna unmask Darth Vader in this series. So I was like, why the fuck did they bring this guy back? They made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
So finally, in like the last few episodes, they justified it. The end lightsaber battle was fucking epic. Like that was to me the pinnacle of the show.
Yeah.
And then he let him live again. And then when he fucking sliced the helmet off and it was kind of Anakin and kind of Darth Vader and his voice was going back and forth.
Yeah.
I welled up a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I welled up just a touch.
Yeah. I mean, it's
know?
Incredible.
But then here's what I don't understand, and I've debated this with my friends already. At the end of this, ObiWan Kenobi lets Darth Vader live, right? Now, he let him live the last time. He thought he was condemning him to death. He left him on fire, missing 3 limbs, like laying next to a fucking pit of lava. For all intents and purposes, he thought he was dead. And then later, one of the Inquisitors reveals to Obi-Wan that Anakin's alive and he's Darth Vader. And he's like, what? Right? And then they finally fight again, but then he leaves him alive one more time.
Right.
Darth Vader is the most notorious villain in the history of the galaxy. He's murdered children and Jedis, and he's going to continue to reign terror for at least the next 10, 15 years until Luke takes him down. But Obi-Wan's just like, all right, Darth, see you later.
Yeah. I'll give you another free pass.
Yeah, like he could have just ended a reign of terror. But he's like, I just can't do it. You're my brother.
The only problem is we would not have had the next 7 movies, 3 movies.
No, yeah, I know, but it's just like they could have come up with a better ending where like Darth Vader, you thought he killed Obi-Wan Kenobi,
yeah, right,
or he thought he killed him. It just didn't, from a plot perspective.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, well, you let a genocidal maniac live because you were like, you look like my old friend, you know, like I can't bring myself to do it. Literally,
who you bitched about the entire time.
Who you literally talked to, like one of his victims who became a homicidal maniac. Who was like, I remember him killing the other children in the Jedi Temple. And he's like, yes, but he looks like Anakin. All right. Well, anyway, I really enjoyed it. I think it was fun, and I don't know what they're doing. I think it looks like they're setting up season. Oh, and Liam Neeson shows up at the end for like 30 seconds.
Liam Neeson's. The Liam Neeson's.
I was like, finally, Liam Neeson's. And he had literally like 3 lines. It was like 30 seconds, 10 seconds of Liam Neeson.
Now you're about to be taken.
Yeah. Like you have much to learn, Obi-Wan. Something like that. It's like,
did he come in and just be like, I have a particular special set of skills?
I'm like, how are we getting season 2? Isn't season 2 episode 4? Like when Luke's grown up? Like, how are you going to shove more stories into these timelines of that? Anyway.
Yeah.
I was okay with it being a one-off. I didn't know they were going to do a season 2, but hey.
Yeah, I don't understand how.
Lord McGregor, boy, talking like this. Can't get that wrong, can you, Darth?
Yes. I can't believe such a missed opportunity. At least one time in the show, you didn't go,
these aren't the drugs you're looking for.
Have you caught up on Stranger Things?
No, I have not.
I
got a long ways to go.
You gave me such shit, and I chewed that up in a fucking week and a half, and now you of all people, drunk beach guy. Oh, I just fucking jerked off and watched fucking whatever the hell whatever stupid movie you watched.
Oh, we're the Millers.
We're the Millers for the 17th time. You couldn't fucking at least catch up on or whatever the fucking guy's name is.
It's hard because that's a tough one with the kids, and it's like one of those that the white. I have to watch it with Emily because of the time that we have to watch.
Just stop. When you catch up on Stranger Things, when it's no longer topical, when the fucking second half of the 4th season comes back, it's coming out in 2 days.
All right,
we could have been talking about the mid-season break, and what do?
All right, well, you tell me, right? Because I'm sitting around watching your fucking shows.
Here you are at the Nike outlet in Rehoboth, getting yourself another pair of cross-training shoes.
I was actually at. Never mind.
Have you watched Doctor Strange 2?
No, I didn't realize it was
Jesus
streaming.
Christ, it's on Disney. I rewatched it because Sunday fell asleep in the
I
theater.
I was looking at the notes, like, holy shit.
It's so good. You gotta watch that.
I know I can get the wife on board with because she's a
go
big
watch
Doctor
that.
Strange
Watch
fan.
that before our next
Well, which
episode.
do you want me to watch that or Stranger Things? I'm confused.
Well, you can do that quicker. That's like an hour and 45 minutes. Stranger Things, you're going to have to watch 7-hour-long episodes. Well, you're going to have an extra week. I'm going to Puerto Rico, and Sean's, he's working or something.
All right.
All right? So, extra week.
Is there anything else that you'd like me to watch?
Yeah, have you watched Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty
Not yet.
yet?
No, I have not.
Oh,
I have
my
not watched
God,
it yet.
Eric, I'm giving you the best programming on TV. And you know what you're doing is you're just spitting in my face. You're just taking a spit right in my mouth.
I'm sorry. I have a drinking problem.
Hey,
okay?
Stefan, what are you, a little baby bird? Let me open your mouth up. Let me spit in it. Yeah. Regurgitation. You know what I revisited last night? Sunday's never seen any of the Terminators.
What?
Yeah. So
The original Terminator.
Yeah, we're big into. Well, I think
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Terminator 2 is like, I believe, maybe the best action film of all time.
And for a long time, it was the most expensive movie.
Yeah, it holds up.
For a long. I think Avatar took that, didn't it?
It might have, and I have a question about that. I'm glad you asked that because this leads into that. We revisited the Terminator, or I revisited it. Sonny never seen it. We've been super into sci-fi. And so this was. I was like, you're into sci-fi.
If you're into that, you guys got to re-dig into Highlander, which
she likes
is a very good series.
In the end, they're convinced
There can be only one.
It won the Academy Award for best movie ever.
Oh my God, what's the actor's name?
I'll think of it, but I'll ease her into the sort of more nerdy fantasy sci-fi. Terminator, I got her down with because she liked the Matrix, and it's sort of a similar storyline where like the machines rise. But I really wanted her to see Terminator 2, but you really can't see Terminator 2 without seeing the Terminator 1. So we revisited.
But end it there. You better end it there.
Terminator still holds up, Eric. That movie came out in
right, but the new ones that came out are
no,
garbage.
I know. Oh well, because the last one that came out, Dark Fate, the one that came out in the last 2 years that brings Linda Hamilton back, is actually a direct sequel to 2, and I really quite enjoyed it.
Okay,
so I'm going to get the Terminator trilogy in with my wife. That's
Wasn't
our
there
next one.
another one though that came out in between?
There
that
were
was
a ton.
Really bad.
One had Christian Bale. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Had the guy from Avatar. So here's what I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
So Avatar 2's coming out. How did I get to that? Well, because Terminator was James Cameron's really big first movie.
Yeah.
James Cameron, the director of Avatar. Here's how I'm equating it. Terminator, I believe, came out in 1984, the year of my birth. Okay. Terminator 2 came out in 1991. We're talking a 7-year gap in between Terminator and Terminator 2. And audiences still rushed back to the theater. It did really well at the box office. Avatar
and 2 for a sequel blew 1 out of the water.
It did.
Which is,
it was even better.
Which is crazy.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
That's certainly
very
rare. But again, it was a long period of time, but not crazy long. Yeah, that's the fucking soundtrack. Well, so Avatar came out a decade ago. Avatar 2 is called like The Shape of Water or Life in the Water or something with water. Are we still excited? Did they miss the boat? Titanic, James Cameron. Did they miss the boat on Avatar? I'm not excited for it like I used to be. That movie came out a decade ago, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen. It was in 3D. When that tree blew up and the fucking embers were coming down, it felt like you were there in Pandora or whatever it was.
It was Pandora.
The visual effects have caught up. Like, I don't know. Are you as excited for I was really excited for an Avatar 2, like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years after that movie came out. Now I'm like,
well, wait, when is it supposed to come out? Is it supposed to come out this year?
Yeah, I think it's in the next
year?
6 months. Maybe next year, but it's coming. The trailers are out now. Who cares? 6
I know,
months
but didn't it take Cameron like a decade to make the first Avatar?
I don't know.
I feel like it took him a really long time.
I feel like it doesn't take 10 years to make anything for real. I bet they had 1 million reshoots and 1 million edits and 1 million. A decade to make a movie. Think about how they're pumping these Marvel movies out and how much visual special effects are in those. You know, you had a Doctor Strange.
So are you telling me you're not going to watch Avatar 2?
I don't know how. I guess I'm saying I may, but it's not like like the Batman was coming out and I was like, dude, I'm going to that night one. Doctor Strange, none of these are superhero movies or whatever, but Avatar is kind of a fucking superhero movie. It's like, you know, they're mind projecting into these fucking mech suits
it's a cool concept.
No, it's a really cool concept. I guess I'm saying,
down for it. I'm excited for it.
I don't know.
I'm excited for it.
If you want to go, I'll go with you. But I think James Cameron missed the boat.
Do me a favor. Would you go with me, please?
I think James Cameron missed the boat on Avatar 2. Do you want to see this Elvis movie?
I'm not a huge Elvis fan.
All right, I'll go with my mom. You want to do sports?
Can I just leave one last before we go to sports?
He already caught it. Go ahead. Marv's already rolling.
Have you started season six of Peaky Blinders yet?
No.
How far in are you?
Who are you looking at?
Sean. I'm looking at Sean behind the camera.
Sean's not on the show.
I want to know what your take. What is Sean, the producer's take on this season so far?
Peaky Blinders. And yeah, the Peaky Blinders.
He's thinking. That's kind of, yeah.
Sam Neill, Jurassic Park.
He's pursing his lips.
You gonna see this new Jurassic
under that
Park movie?
bitchin' mustache he's got.
I think it's going to come down to some big political round.
It's, yeah, I mean, I feel...
You know what I think? The Irish guys are going to win.
It is so dark and depressing that it's really hard to watch. And I'm like, I get what they're doing, but they've drug it out now for like 3 episodes. And I'm like, I just don't have the time or the stomach to watch this depressing, horrible, like, downfall of this person.
Well, I'll tell you what, this gets Eric's seal of approval. Thank God we talked about this. I'm so glad you brought it up. Can we
I give it 1 SP.
Hey, everybody, Peaky Blinders is the most depressing shit I've ever seen.
I was a huge fan of it, though.
Yeah, until
Huge.
Sam Neill died, and then there was nobody going, Peaky Blinders. Can we do sports now?
Sure.
All right, great.
Jump shots. Goals. Running. Balls. Defense. Champions.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marv Albert, and welcome to another edition of Stapless Sports.
Right, and we are back. Thank you, Marv. Eric, do you believe this? I just checked the ticker. Still no scores. The league is on strike.
Jeez.
I heard the league might be on strike for the entirety of season 2.
Uh-oh.
I don't know that for sure. I'm going to keep checking in with my sources. ESPN's AJ Wojnarowski.
Well, check, because you're going to be, out of the country.
No, I'm not. Puerto
You're gonna
Rico
be
is
in
part of
Puerto
the
Rico.
U.S. Hey, your dad's sitting here. I just want you to look, and I want your dad, who's such a history buff. Your fucking kid failed geography.
No, you're going to be.
Puerto
I would
Rico.
check into the sports while you're down there in Puerto Rico.
I think
'Cause
there's
I bet they have some unextraordinary sports.
I
down
bet there's
there.
a raging highlight scene. I don't know. I know it's big in Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I could see it being big in the Caribbean.
Yeah, man.
Volleyball, beach volleyball. Well, let's go to the NFL with the ongoing investigation into Houston Texans star quarterback, the $1 million man, Mr. Deshaun Watson. There's new lawsuits, Eric.
Oh boy. They
And-
just keep
and
stacking up.
apparently the team enabled Deshaun Watson for his sexual conduct.
Oh boy.
So check this out. In the newest claim, John Watson's accuser claims. Oh, I also love the details of this. What a scumbag this guy is. Ready? He quote assaulted and harassed Garner by aggressively exposing his naked body to her. So like just hey, what's up, baby? Purposefully touching her with his penis. This was my penis. And then ultimately, we haven't heard this one before, ultimately ejaculating onto her.
Wow.
How about that?
He took it right up there, didn't he?
He took it all the way to the top.
He literally went from 6 to midnight.
And so the girl's attorney, who represents more than 20 other female therapists who have alleged that he inappropriately touched them or exposed himself to them during massage sessions, writes in the suit that not only did the Texans turn a blind eye to Johnson and Watson's egregious behavior, but in fact helped. He was provided a non-disclosure agreement to give to the girls by the team.
Oh, they set him up to go ahead and
then the
give
owner of the Texans owns the Houstonian Hotel, and then allowed him to, at free of charge, use the hotel rooms
for his misconduct. Wow. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for everybody involved.
Quote from Deshaun Watson, quote, "I never assaulted anyone," end quote. Now, I've also heard on the radio that he is going to be probably at least suspended for this next season. Probably
least.
for at least 2 seasons. They guaranteed this guy his
So
contract.
he's getting paid for these 2 seasons?
He's making, and all the league is so mad at this because one, even if he played, you don't guarantee a guy $250 million. Like every quarterback now like it's fuck the Lamar Jackson contract talks because they're like, you're giving this scumbag $200 million. Like, what are you giving me?
So wait, hold on. Did the Browns pick him up in amongst all of these allegations?
Yeah, they traded for him. They traded
during this past.
Yes, they knew all this.
Oh my god!
Well, they thought he was getting off because he got out of.
He got off.
He got
many times.
Well, it's all civil cases now. Well, yeah, it's all civil cases now. He got out of the criminal ones. So that's why they were like, "Oh, this is just going to blow over." But then more shit just keeps coming out. It's so Browns. I love it.
It's terrible.
I mean, I hate
he's
what
getting,
he's done.
This is like basically the progress of when we were in high school, and I remember that kids would get suspended for behaving badly, and it was an excused absence because the school didn't want to look. They didn't want the bad record of unexcused absences. So it was literally like you get in trouble and get suspended and get free time off from school. This guy is getting suspended, but he's still making millions.
I just think it's unbelievable how many chances guys get.
Unbelievable.
And it's always pro sports too. I'll even equate it to like, look what happened to Johnny Depp. One girl, his wife, accuses him, and he loses the next 4 movies he's going to be in.
Right.
Fucks with his livelihood. This guy has over 20 pending cases.
Right.
And not only the Browns trade everything they can, 4 first-round picks and this, that. They give him fucking $250 million. And he might not play. It's so Browns. So you remember
so classic Browns.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember when the other guy remember Adrian Peterson? He was the great running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Remember he beat his kid with the switch? Mm-hmm. He made his kid go pick out the fucking switch and then beat him with it, and then he got suspended.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson back in the news, Eric. Guess what?
Oh,
Adrian Peterson, there's going to be a boxing showdown. And I want to know which horse you're betting on, everybody in this room. A boxing showdown between 2 NFL superstar running backs. Adrian Peterson has agreed to fight Le'Veon Bell at the Crypto.com arena next month. Peterson, I believe, is 36 or 37. Bell is 30. Eric, who you got in this fight? Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell?
I'm going Bell.
Are you?
Yeah.
Any reason behind that? He's big.
He's a big dude. He's younger.
He's 6'4",
He's
probably
younger.
240, 250.
He's their same height. He's got a little, I think, what has he got? A little bit more weight.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little slower, but
you're going Bell.
I'm going Bell.
Al, Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell?
I don't know either one, but I'm going with Bell.
He's going with Bell because Eric did. Sean, Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell?
Might say AP.
Mm-hmm. I'm going AP for all the tea in China. I'd bet my house on it. Now I rent. but I would bet my fucking I'll bet my 7-year-old daughter's college education that Adrian Peterson is just a different type of human being. Legendary work ethic. I just beats the shit out of his kid. I mean, that guy's got anger issues out the wazoo. I think if you can stomach hitting your kid that hard with a fucking big old stick, Le'Veon Bell is going to just be last night's dinner. I think he chews him up.
I'm going underdog then. Going the underdog.
And the last thing I wanted to say, I know you don't follow the NBA very much, Eric,
No, I don't.
but there's a player. He's a really popular player. His name's Kyrie Irving. He was in the Uncle Drew movies. Kyrie Irving. He's like one of the biggest basketball stars, top 5 player in the league. He played for the Brooklyn Nets last year. He starred in the movie Uncle Drew. He was Uncle Drew.
Okay.
Did you ever see that?
No.
With
No.
the guy that looks like me from Big Mouth? Oh, Christ.
Andy
You know.
Serkis?
No, that's my other doppelganger, the comedian, Nick Kroll.
Oh, Nick Kroll. Okay.
Uncle Drew's pretty funny.
Okay.
Well, Kyrie Irving's like this great basketball player, but he's very enigmatic. He's the guy that wouldn't get the vaccine last year.
Oh, right.
So he only played in half of their games.
Yeah.
So he didn't play in any home games. Now, again, if you don't want to get the vaccine, fine, but the whole fucking league did, and basically he was getting paid $40 million a year and played in like half the games.
Sounds like a deal. At least he's not molesting women.
Again, no, it's fine. But so the season, it's coming to the end of the year, and in the NBA, they have what are called player options, where he can decide if he wants to play for the team or not. If he opts into it, he makes $36 million. If he opts out of it, he can sign with anybody he wants, but he might not make as much money. So the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets is a guy named Steve Nash, who was a little white guy. He played in Phoenix. He won 2 MVPs back in the early 2000s. Legendary player. Came from nothing and then out of nowhere wins these 2 MVPs. Well, I just read this article that they said he has this irreparable relationship with Kyrie Irving that he won't sign with the Nets because they were at a team dinner and Kyrie Irving, to his coach, his boss, said, "Hey, can you show me both of Kobe Bryant's MVPs that you won?" Because he believes that Kobe should have won the MVPs, and there's a lot of like asterisks about Steve Nash's MVP seasons. So his employee at team dinner in front of all the other employees go, "Hey, those 2 awards you won, can I see those? The awards that the guy that should have won them, right. Can he have his name on there?" Can you believe that? Would you get away with that?
That's some balls.
Would you do that in
That's
any sort of
insulting as hell? Like,
I just think these athletes are so entitled. Again, this is just an example of you sat there in front of your whole fucking company and said to your boss, "Those are bullshit. I don't respect you."
Yeah, essentially. It's terrible.
You make $40 million.
Yeah. Sit down and shut up.
So anyway, I think Kyrie Irving's going to the Lakers, Eric.
Oh,
that'll wrap up sports.
All right.
And welcome back to the final. You didn't need to do that. Welcome back to the final segment, a little segment we like to call Earth is Full, where we take one remaining member of society and theoretically remove them from the planet because, well, Earth is full. Eric, you're candidate this week.
Oh, I left this up to you this week. We talked about that, remember? I was like, you've got the Earth is Full this week. I don't have that this week. So
we all know who Ben Affleck is, don't we? He played Batman.
Ben Affleck.
He was in Good Will Hunting. He was in The Town.
He's in a lot of movies.
Well, Ben Affleck's 10-year-old son is quote unquote fine after a very close call involving a Lamborghini. Samuel Affleck.
Wait, how old is he?
Again, 10 years old. Samuel Affleck was with Ben and his fiancée, Jennifer Lopez, at 777 Exotics, an LA-based luxury car rental dealership on Sunday. The child, whose mom is Jennifer Garner from the Capital One commercials, climbed into the...
And Daredevil.
Yeah. She was Elektra. Yeah, terrible film. Climbed into the flashy yellow ride. The kid climbs into the driver's seat side of the car, knocks the car out of gear, and it rolled back into a parked white BMW, smashing it, doing damage to the vehicle.
Both vehicles?
Everybody just kind of laughed it off. just a BMW backing into a 7 Series, or excuse me, a Lamborghini backing into a 7 Series BMW. I'm going to be honest with you. This kid's not ever going to learn about consequences.
No.
You're 10 years old. One, you were able to get into the driver's seat of a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I'm 38. You know how many Lamborghini driver's seats I've been in? Fucking Seto. Okay? This kid, 10 years old, his parents go into I'm just going to get into my dad's fucking Lambo. Not only that, car fucking pops out of gear, rolls back into what's probably a $100,000 BMW, and we're like, oh God, Samuel, are you all right? Laughed it off. Who has a story like that by the time they're 10 years old? There is no chance this kid turns out right. You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
He is definitely doing something terrible. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson caliber, but it is not going to be good. All right? It is not going to be good. I'm sorry, little Samuel Affleck. It's a tough day for me because I love children. No, Eric, this is my decision. Samuel Affleck, you are going to be a terrible member of society.
It's not his fault. You better send Ben up.
Eric, you didn't come prepared.
Ben and Garner.
No, Ben's fine. I love Ben. Good Will Hunting is a great movie.
This 10-year-old kid. I have one now. I have an.
This 10-year-old kid will never learn what consequences are. Do you remember what Darth Vader did?
But who teaches the consequences?
Do you remember what Darth Vader did? He had no consequences. And you know what happened? He grew up killing children and turning into a fucking terrible fist for the Empire.
A little baby.
I'm sorry, Samuel Affleck, your future is very similar to that of young Annie Skywalker. I'm sorry, Earth is full. You gotta go. Final segment. Al, Eric's father, is here in studio with us. Al, you had a question for Eric and I.
Yeah, one question. You talked about movies. Do you talk about which movies you're going to watch for next week's show?
We do oftentimes. We always come with one that we haven't to just say, hey, here's something. Have you seen this in a while? Or, hey, have you seen this? But there are a few that we've agreed to, such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Stranger Things Season 4. I don't know. I'm just pulling some random ones off the top of my head. But yes, Al, there oftentimes are some homework assignments that some of us don't get to because we're at the Rehobeth outlets.
He acts like he's never not watched something that I've told him to watch.
I do everything I say when I'm going to do it, when I say I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Well,
I tell you that I'm an introvert, and what I've heard spewing here in the last hour, I won't do that in 6 months.
well, that's good. Well, I think that's a fitting ending. This episode, as always, has been completely unextraordinary. Thank you, Dark Continent. Good night.
This is the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.